أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على كاتب المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأجمعين. Introduction to Surah Al-Mu'minun. This is Surah 23. Page 873, if you are in your Abdul Yusuf Ali books, it's chapter 23 in anybody else's Quran, commentary 154, ayat 1. Faith leads to humility, avoidance of vanity in word and deed, charity, continence, faithful, observant of trust and covenants, and devout approach to Allah, sure steps to bliss. Man carries in himself proof of Allah's providence. The same story is told if he looks at nature around him. And the long line of teachers sent by Allah shows Allah's special care of humanity. What though they were rejected and scorned, maligned, and persecuted? Allah's truth won through, as it always will. Mu'minun, or the believers. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. The believers must eventually win through. That is, those who humble themselves in their prayers, who avoid vain talk, who are active in deeds of charity, who abstain from sex, except with those joined to them in marriage bond, or the captives whom their right hands possess. For their case, they are free from blame. For those who desire to exceed those limits are transgressors, those who faithfully observe their trust in their covenants, and who strictly guard their prayers. Those will be the heirs, who will inherit paradise. They will dwell therein forever. Man we did create from a quintessence of clay. Then we placed him as a drop of sperm in a place of rest firmly fixed. Then we made the sperm into a clot of congealed blood. Then of that clot we made a fetus lump. Then we made out of that lump bones and clothed the bones with flesh. Then we developed out of it another creature. So blessed be Allah, the best to create. After that, at length, you will die. Again on the day of judgment will you be raised up. And we have made above you 7 tracks. And we are never unmindful of our creation. And we send down water from the sky according to due measure. And we cause it to soak in the soil. And we certainly are able to drain it off with ease. With it we grow for you gardens of date palms and vines. In them have you abundant fruits, and of them you eat and have enjoyment. Also a tree springing out of Mount Sinai, which produces oil and relish for those who use it for food. And in cattle too you have an instructive example. From within their bodies we produce milk for you to drink. There are in them besides numerous other benefits for you. And of their meat you eat, and on them as well as in ships you ride. Further we sent a long line of prophets for your instruction. We sent Noah to his people. He said, O my people, worship Allah. You have no other God but him. Will you not fear him? Well, the chiefs of the unbelievers among his people said, he is no more than a man like yourselves. His wish is to assert his superiority over you. If Allah had wished to send messengers, he could have sent down angels. Never did we hear such a thing as he says among our ancestors of old. And some said, he is only a man possessed. Wait, and have patience with him for a time. Noah said, O my Lord, help me, for that they accuse me of falsehood. So we inspired him with this message. Construct the ark within our sight and under our guidance. Then when comes our command and the fountains of the earth gush forth, take thou on board pairs of every species, male and female, in thy family, except those of them against whom the word has already gone forth. And address me not in favor of wrongdoers, for they shall be drowned in the flood. And when thou hast embarked on the ark, thou and those with thee said, Praise be to Allah, who has saved us from the people who do wrong. And say, O my Lord, enable me to disembark with thy blessing, for thou art the best to enable us to disembark. Verily in this there are signs for men to understand. Thus do we try men, then we raise after them another generation. And we sent to them an apostle from among themselves, saying, Worship Allah. You have no other God but him. Will you not fear him? And the chiefs of his people who disbelieved and denied the meeting of the hereafter, and on whom we yet bestowed the good things of this life, said, He is no more than a man like yourselves. He eats of that of which ye eat, and drinks of that which you drink. If you obey a man like yourself, behold, it is certain you will be lost. Does he promise that when you die and become dust and bones, you shall be brought forth again? Far. very far as that which you have promised. There is nothing but our life in this world. We shall die and we live, but we shall never be raised up again. He's only a man who invents a lie against Allah, but we are not the ones to believe in him. The prophet said, "Oh my Lord, help me, for that they accuse me of falsehood." Allah said, "In but a little while they are sure to be sorry." Then the blast overtook them with justice, and we made them as rubbish of dead leaves floating on the stream of time. So away with the people who do wrong. Then we raised after them other generations. No people can hasten their turn, nor can they delay it. Then sent we our apostles in succession. Every time there came to them a people, their apostle, they accused them of falsehood. So we made them follow each other in punishment. We made them as a tale that is told. So away with the people that will not believe. Then we sent Moses and his brother Aaron with our signs and authority manifest to Pharaoh and his chiefs. But these behaved insolently. They were arrogant people. They said, "Shall we believe in two men like ourselves? And their people are subject to us." So they accused them of falsehood, and they became of those who were destroyed. And we gave Moses the book in order that they might receive guidance. And we made the son of Maryam and his mother as a sign. We gave them both shelter on high ground, affording rest and security, and furnished with springs. A commentary 155. The brotherhood of truth is one in all ages. It is narrow men who create sects. Let them not think that the goods of this world can shield them from the evil or its consequences. Allah's truth and his messenger can be known to all. For he, in his mercy, has given us faculties in judgment, if we will but use them. The message is not new. All creation proclaims it. High above all is the Lord of glory supreme. O ye apostles, enjoy all good things, enjoy all things good and pure, and work righteousness. For I am well acquainted with all that you do. And verily, this brotherhood of yours is a single brotherhood, and I am your Lord and cherisher. Therefore fear me, and no others. But people have cut off the affairs of unity between them into sects. Each party rejoices in that which is with itself. But leave them in their confused ignorance for a time. Do they think that because we have granted them abundance of wealth and sons, we would hasten them on in every good? Nay, they do not understand. Verily those who live in awe for fear of their Lord, that is those who believe in the signs of their Lord, those who join not in worship partners with their Lord, and those who dispense their charity with their hearts full of fear because they will return to their Lord. It is these who hasten in every good work, and these who are foremost in it. On no soul do we place a burden greater than it can bear. Before us is a record which clearly shows the truth. They will never be wronged, but their hearts are in confused ignorance of this. And there are besides that deeds of theirs which they will continue to do, until when we seize in punishment those of them who receive the good things of this world, behold, they will groan in supplication. It will be said, groan not in supplication this day, for you shall be certainly not be helped by us. My signs used to be rehearsed to you, but you used to turn back on your heels in arrogance, talking nonsense about the Quran like one telling fables by night. Do they not ponder over the words of Allah? Has anything new come to them that did not come to their fathers of old? Or do they not recognize the apostle, that they deny him? Or do they say, he's possessed? Nay, he has brought them the truth, but most of them hate the truth. If the truth had been in accord with their desires, truly the heavens and the earth and all beings therein would have been in confusion and corruption. Nay, we have sent them their admonition, but they turn away from their admonition. Or is it that thou askest them for some recompense? For the recompense of thy Lord is best. He is the best of those who give sustenance. But verily thou callest them to the straight way, and verily those who believe not in the hereafter are deviating from that way. If we had mercy on them and removed the distress which is on them, they would obstinately persist in their transgression, wandering in distraction to and fro. We inflicted punishment on them, but they humble not themselves to their Lord, nor do they submissively entreat him, until we open on them a gate leading to a severe punishment. Then lo, they will be plunged in despair therein. It is he who has created for you the faculties of hearing, sight, feeling, and understanding. Little thanks it is you give. And he has multiplied you through the earth, and to him shall you be gathered back. It is he who gives life and death, and to him is due the alternation of night and day. Will you not then understand? On the contrary, they say things similar to what the ancients say. They say, what? When we die and become dust and bones, could we really be raised up again? Such things have been promised to us and our fathers before. They are nothing but tales of the ancients. Say, to whom belong the earth and all beings therein? Say it if you know. They will say to Allah, say, yet will you not receive admonition? Say, who is the Lord of the seven heavens and the Lord of the throne of glory supreme? They will say, they belong to Allah. Say, will you not then be filled with awe? Say, who is it in whose hands is the governance of all things, who protects all but is not protected of any? Say it if you know. They will say, it belongs to Allah. Say, then how are you deluded? We have sent them the truth, when they indeed practice falsehood. No son did Allah beget, nor is there any God along with him. If there were many gods, behold, each God would have taken away what he had created, and some would have lorded it over to others. Glory to Allah. He is free from the sort of things they attribute to him. He knows what is hidden and what is open. Too high is he for the partner they attribute to him. Commentary 156. Let us eschew evil, but not pay back evil in its own coin, however great the temptation. No chance will there be to retrieve our conduct once death cuts us off. Then we shall only have to wait for judgment. None can pass that barrier. Our deeds will be weighed, and happy those whose good weighs more in the scale than ill. Only faith and goodness will prevail in the end. So glory to the Lord of the throne exalted, of mercy and honor. Say, O my Lord, if thou would show me in my lifetime that which they are warned against, then, O my Lord, put me not amongst the people who do wrong. And we are certainly able to show thee in fulfillment that against which they are warned. Repel evil with that which is best. We are well acquainted with the things they say. And say, O my Lord, I seek refuge with thee from the suggestions of the evil one. And I seek refuge with thee, O my Lord, lest they should come near me. In falsehood will they be until when death comes to one of them, he says, O my Lord, send me back to life in order that I may work righteousness in the things I neglected. By no means. It is but a word, he says, before them is a partition till the day they are raised up. Then, when the trumpet is blown, there will be no more relationships between them that day, nor will one ask after another. Then those whose balance of good deeds is heavy, they will attain salvation. But those whose balance is light will be those who have lost their souls, in hell will they abide. The fire will burn their faces, and they will therein grin with their lips displaced. Were not my signs rehearsed to you, and ye but treat them as falsehood? They would say, Our Lord, our misfortune overwhelmed us, and we became a people astray. Our Lord, bring us out of this. If ever we return to evil, then shall we be wrongdoers indeed. And he would say, Be ye driven into it with ignominy, and speak ye not to me. A party of my servants there was who used to pray, Our Lord, we believe. Then do thou forgive us, and have mercy upon us. For thou art the best of those who show mercy. But you treated them with ridicule, so much so that ridicule of them made you forget my message while you were laughing at them. I have rewarded them this day for their patience and constancy. They are indeed the ones that have achieved bliss. You will say, What number of years did you stay on earth? They will say, We stayed a day or part of a day. But ask those who keep account. He will say, You stayed but not little. If you had only known, did you then think that we had created you in jest, and that you would not be brought back to us for account? Therefore exalted be Allah the King, the reality. There is no God but He, the Lord of the throne of honor. And if anyone invokes besides Allah any other God, he has no authority therefore, and his reckoning will be only with his Lord. And verily the unbelievers will fail to win through. So say, O my Lord, grant thou forgiveness and mercy, for thou art the best of those who show mercy. Introduction to Surah the Nur, commentary 57. Chastity is a virtue for men and women, whether joined in marriage or single or widowed. The punishment for offenses in such matters should be public. No less grave is the launching of false charges or rumors against their fair reputation of women, or the spreading of such slanders, or the facile belief in them. Evil is ever spreading its dead. Good men and women should ever be on their guard and pray for Allah's grace and mercy. Nur, or the light. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. A surah which we have sent down and which we have ordained. In it have we set down clear signs in order that you may receive admonition. The woman and the man guilty of adultery or fornication, flog each of them with 100 stripes. Let not compassion move you in their case in a manner prescribed by Allah, if you believe in Allah on the last day. And let a party of believers witness their punishment. Let no man guilty of adultery or fornication marry any but a woman similarly guilty or an unbeliever, nor let any but such a man or an unbeliever marry such a woman. To the believers, such a thing is forbidden. And those who launch a charge against chaste women and produce not 4 witnesses to support their allegations, flog them with 80 stripes, and reject their evidence ever after. For such men are wicked transgressors, unless they repent thereafter and mend their conduct. For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. And for those who launch a charge against their spouses and have in support no evidence but their own, their solitary evidence can be received if they bear witness 4 times with an oath by Allah that they are solemnly telling the truth. And the 5th oath should be that they solemnly invoke the curse of Allah on themselves if they tell a lie. But it would avert the punishment from the wife if she bears witness 4 times with an oath by Allah that her husband is telling a lie. And the 5th oath should be that she solemnly invokes the wrath of Allah on herself if her accuser is telling the truth. If it were not for Allah's grace and mercy on you, and that Allah is oft returning full of wisdom, ye would be ruined indeed. Those who brought forward the lie are a body among yourselves, thinking not to be an evil to you. On the contrary, it is good for you. To every man among them will come the punishment of the sin that he earned. And to him who took on himself the lead among them will be a penalty grievous. Why did not believers, men and women, when you heard of the affair, put the best construction on it in their own minds and say, this charge is an obvious lie? Why did they not bring forth witnesses to prove it? When they have not brought the witnesses, such men in the sight of Allah stand forth themselves as liars. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you in this world and the hereafter, a grievous penalty would have seized you, and that you rushed guiltily into this affair. Behold, you received it on your tongues, and said out of your mouths things of which ye had no knowledge, and you thought it to be light matter, while it was most serious in the sight of Allah. And why did you not, when you heard it, say, it is not right of us to speak of this? Glory to Allah. This is a most serious slander. Allah doth admonish you that you may never repeat such conduct if you are true believers. And Allah makes the signs plain to you, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. Those who love to see scandal published broadcast among the believers will have a grievous penalty in this life and in the hereafter. Allah knows, and ye know not. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, and that Allah is full of kindness and mercy, ye would be ruined indeed. O you who believe, follow not Shaitan's footsteps. If any will follow the footsteps of Shaitan, he will but command what is shameful and wrong. And were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, not one of you would ever have been pure. But Allah doth purify whom he pleases, and Allah is one who hears and knows all things. Let not those among you who are endued with grace and amplitude of means resolve by oath against helping their kinsmen, those in want, and those who have left their homes in Allah's cause. Let them forgive and overlook. Do you not wish that Allah should forgive you? For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. Those who slander chaste women, indiscreet but believing, are cursed in this life and in the hereafter. For them is a grievous penalty. On the day when their tongues, their hands, and their feet will bear witness against them as to their actions. And on that day, Allah will pay them back all their just dues. And they will realize that Allah is the very truth that makes all things manifest. Women impure for men impure, and men impure for women impure, and women of purity are for men of purity, and men of purity are for women of purity. These are not affected by what people say. For them there is forgiveness and a provision honorable. Commentary 158. Privacy in the home is a nurse of virtue. Respect it with dignity and decorum. Guard your eyes and thoughts with rules of modesty in dress and manners. And learn from these to keep your spiritual gaze from straying to any but Allah. True marriage should teach us chastity and purity, and such are the virtues which leads us to the light sublime, which illuminates the world. O you who believe, enter not houses other than your own, until you have asked permission and saluted those in them. That is best for you, in order that you may heed what is seemly. And if you find none in the house, enter not until permission is given to you. If you are asked to go back, go back. That makes for greater purity for yourselves. That Allah knows well all that you do. It is no fault on your part to enter houses not used for living in, which serve some other use for you, and Allah has knowledge of what you reveal and what you conceal. Say to the believing men that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty. That will make for greater purity for them. And Allah is well acquainted with all that they do. And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty, that they should not display their beauties and ornaments except what must ordinarily appear thereof, that they should draw their veils over their bosom and not display their beauty except to their husbands, their fathers, their husbands' fathers, their sons, their husbands' sons, their brothers or their brothers' sons, or their sisters' sons, or their women, or the slaves whom their right hands possess, or male servants free of physical need, or small children who have no sense of shame of sex, and that they should not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden ornaments. And O ye believers, turn ye all together towards Allah, that you may attain bliss. Marry those among you who are single, or the virtuous ones among you, slaves, male or female. If they are in poverty, Allah will give them means out of His grace. For Allah encompasses all, and He knoweth all things. Let those who find not the wherewithal for marriage keep themselves chaste, until Allah gives them means out of His grace. And if any of your slaves ask for a deed in writing to enable them to earn their freedom for a certain sum, give them such a deed if you know any good in them. Yea, give them something yourselves out of the means which Allah has given to you. But force not your minds to prostitution when they desire chastity, in order that ye may make a gain in the goods of this life. But if anyone compels them, yet after such compulsion, is Allah also forgiving, most merciful to them. Now we have already set down to you verses making things clear, and an illustration from the stories of people who passed away before you, and an admonition for those who fear Allah. Commentary 159. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. High above all our petty events and lives, He illuminates our souls with means that reaches our inmost being. Universal is His light, so pure and so intense that grosser beings need a veil to take His rays. His elect are ever absorbed in prayer and praise and deeds of love, unlike the children of darkness, struggling in depths profound of vanity's false. All nature sings to the glory of Allah, and men of fraud and hypocrisy are but rebels in the kingdom of Allah. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, and the parable of His light is as if there were a niche. Within it is a lamp. The lamp enclosed in glass. The glass, as it were, a brilliant star, lit from a blessed tree, an olive, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil is well nigh luminous, though fear scarce touch it. Light upon light. Allah doth guide whom He will to this light. Allah doth set forth parables for them, and Allah doth know all things. There is such a light in houses which Allah hath permitted to be raised to honor, for celebration in them of His name. In them is He glorified in the mornings and in the evenings, again and again, by men whom neither traffic nor merchandise can divert from the remembrance of Allah, nor from regular prayer, nor from the practice of regular charity. Their only fear is for the day when hearts and eyes will be transformed in a world wholly new, that Allah may reward them according to the best of their deeds, and add even more for them out of His grace. For Allah doth provide for those whom He will without measure. But the unbelievers, their deeds are like a mirage in sandy deserts which the man parched with thirst mistakes for water, until when he comes up to it, he finds it to be nothing, but he finds Allah ever with him, and Allah will pay him his account, and Allah is swift in taking account. Or the unbeliever stated like the depths of darkness and vast deep oceans overwhelmed with billow, topped by dark clouds, the depths of darkness one above another. And if a man stretches out his hands, he can hardly see it. For any to whom Allah giveth not light, there is no light. Seest thou not that it is Allah whose praises all beings in the heavens and on earth do celebrate, and the birds of the air with wings outspread? Each one knows his own mode of prayer and praise, and Allah knows well all that they do. Yea, to Allah belongs the dominion of the heaven and the earth, and to Allah is the final goal of all. Seest thou not that Allah makes the clouds move gently, then joins them together, then makes them into heaps? Then thou wilt see rain issue forth from their midst, and He sends down from the sky mountains masses of cloud wherein is hail. He strikes there with whom He pleases, and He turns it away from whom He pleases. The vivid flash of His lightning well nigh blinds the sight. It is Allah who alternates the night and the day. Verily in these things is an instructive example for those who have vision. And Allah has created every animal from water. Of them there are some that creep on their bellies, some that walk on 2 legs, some that walk on 4. Allah creates what He wills, for verily Allah has power over all things. We have indeed sent down signs that makes things manifest, and Allah guides whom He wills to a way that is straight. And they say, we believe in Allah and His apostle, and we obey. But even after that, some of them turn away. They are not really believers. When they are summoned to Allah and His apostle in order that He may judge between them, behold, some of them decline to come. But if the right is on their side, they come to Him with all submission. Is it that there is a disease in their hearts? Or do they doubt? Or are they in fear that Allah and His apostle will do unjustly with them? Nay, it is they themselves who do wrong. The answer of the believers, when summoned to Allah and His apostle in order that He may judge between them, is no other than this. They say, we hear and we obey. It is such as these that will attain felicity. It is such as obey Allah and His apostle and fear Allah and do right that will win in the end. And they swear their strongest oath by Allah, that if only Thou would command them, they would leave their homes. Say, swear ye not. Obedience is more reasonable. Verily Allah is well acquainted with all that you do. Say, obey Allah and obey the apostle. But if you turn away, He is only responsible for the duty placed on Him, and ye for that placed on you. And if you obey Him, you shall be on right guidance. The apostle's duty is only to preach the clear message. Allah has promised to those among you who believe and work righteous deeds that He will of a surety grant them in the land inheritance of power, as He granted it to those before them, that He will establish in authority their religion, the one which He has chosen for them, and that He will change their state after the fear in which they live to one of security and peace. They will worship Me alone and not associate aught with Me. And if any do reject faith after this, they are rebellious and wicked. So establish regular prayer and give regular charity, and obey the apostles that you may receive mercy. Never think thou that the unbelievers are going to frustrate Allah's plan on earth. Their abode, the fire, and it is indeed an evil refuge. Commentary 160. For a self-respecting life on earth, respect for others' privacy is more essential, in the home and abroad. But superstitions are not met in intercourse among kin or true friends. In public council, never fail to observe the most punctilious form and order. Your self-respect demands that you should give your leaders sincere respect and all obedience. You may not know, but Allah doth know, the inwardness of things both great and small. O you who believe, let those whom your right hands possess and the children among you who have not come of age ask your permission before they come to your presence on 3 occasions. Before morning prayer, the while you doff your clothes for the noonday heat, and after the late night prayer. These are your 3 times of undress. Outside those times, it is not wrong for you or for them to remove about attending to each other. Thus does Allah make clear the signs to you, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. But when the children among you come of age, let them also ask for permission, as do those seniors to them in age. Thus does Allah make clear to his signs to you, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. Such elderly women as are past the prospect of marriage, there is no blame on them if they lay aside their outer garments, provided they make not a wanton display of their beauty. But it is best for them to be modest. And Allah is one who sees and knows all things. There is no fault in the blind, nor in one born lame, nor in one afflicted with illness, nor in yourselves, that you should eat in your own houses, or those of your fathers, or your mothers, or your brothers, or your sisters, or your father's brothers, or your father's sisters, or your mother's brothers, or your mother's sisters, or in the houses of which the keys are in your possession, or in the houses of a sincere friend of yours. There is no blame on you whether you eat in company or separately. But if you enter houses, salute each other, a greeting of blessing and purity as from Allah. Thus does Allah make clear the signs to you, that you may understand. Only those are believers who believe in Allah and His Apostle. When they are with Him on a matter requiring collective action, they do not depart until they ask for His leave. Those who ask for thy leave are those who believe in Allah and His Apostle. So when they ask for thy leave for some business of theirs, give leave to those of them whom thou wilt, and ask Allah for their forgiveness. For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. Deem not the summons of the apostle among yourselves like the summons of one of you to another. Allah doth know those of you who slip away under shelter of some excuse. Then let those beware who withstand the apostle's order, lest some trial befall them, or grievous penalty be inflicted on them. Be quite sure that to Allah doth belong whatever is in the heavens and on earth. Well doth He know what ye are intent upon. And one day they will be brought back to Him, and He will tell them the truth of what they did. For Allah doth know all things. Introduction to Surah 25, Commentary 161. Among the highest and greatest of the gifts of Allah is His revelation, which is the criterion by which we may judge between right and wrong, between false and true worship, and between the message that comes from Allah and the forgeries of men, between the real and our eternal future and fancies by which we are misled. The apostles of Allah come as men to live among men and guide them. Furqan, or the criterion. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Blessed is He who sent down the criterion to His servant, that it may be an admonition to all creatures. He to whom belongs the dominions of the heavens and the earth. No son has He begotten, nor has He a partner in His dominion. It is He who created all things and ordered them in due proportions. Yet have they taken besides Him gods that can create nothing, but are themselves created, that have no control of hurt or good to themselves, nor can they control death, nor life, nor resurrection. For the misbelievers say, but this is a lie, which He has forged, and others have helped them at it. In truth, it is they who have put forward an iniquity and a falsehood. And they say, tales of the ancients, which He has caused to be written, and they are dictated before Him morning and evening. Say, the Quran was sent down by Him who knows the mysteries that is in the heavens and on earth. Verily, He is oft forgiving, most merciful. And they say, what sort of an apostle is this who eats food and walks through the streets? Why has not an angel been sent down to him to give admonition with him? Or why has not a treasure been bestowed on him? Or why has he not a garden for enjoyment? The wicked say, ye follow none other than a man bewitched. You see what kinds of comparisons they make for this? But they have gone astray, and never a way will they be able to find. Blessed is he who, if that were his will, could give thee better things than those, gardens beneath with rivers flows, and he could give thee palaces secure to dwell in. Nay, they deny the hour of the judgment to come. But we have prepared a blazing fire for such as deny the hour. When it sees them from a place far off, they will hear its fury and its raging sighs. And when they are cast, bound together into a constricted place therein, they will plead for destruction there and then. This day, plead not for a single destruction. Plead for destruction oft repeated. Say, is that best, or the eternal garden promised to the righteous? For them, that is the reward as well as a goal of attainment. For them, there will be therein all that they wish for. They will dwell there for a promise to be prayed for from thy Lord. The day he will gather them together as well as those whom they worship besides Allah. He will ask, was it ye who led these my servants astray, or did they stray from the path themselves? They will say, glory to thee. Not meet was it for us that we should take for protectors others besides thee. For thou didst bestow on them and their fathers good things in life, until they forgot the message, for they were a people worthless and lost. And Allah will say, now have they proved you liars in what you say. So you cannot avert your penalty nor get help. And whoever among you does wrong, him shall be caused to taste of a grievous penalty. And the apostles whom we sent before thee were all men who ate food and walked through the earth and walked through the streets. We have made some of them as a trial for others. But you have patience, for Allah is one who sees all things. Alhamdulillah. And that is the 18th reading of the Quran, the 17th day of the fast. So now, when you look at the 18th, when you look at this 18th reading, that simply means that this is the 18th night of Ramadan, because the night always comes before the day. Remember that. This is the 18th night of Ramadan. Okay? The night comes before the day. Remember that. So we are right now at Maghrib. Once Maghrib break, once we come to Maghrib, that thing right there turn to 18. It'll say 9:18. Okay, so that's how you have to look at it. So we'll be the 18th night. This is the 18th night of Ramadan. When we started, we didn't start our fast. The night of Ramadan came in, and that was the first night of the reading and the first night of the Tarawih, but the next day was the first day of the fast. So you have to remember that. Don't get your fast connected with the night. Okay, remember that. So you're in the 18th night of Ramadan, and you're in the 17th fast of Ramadan. Okay? So the projections are based on the logistics that I'm looking at, and it was based on when we started with Saudi, is that the new moon pops in on the 19th of March. And the timing of the new moon based on astrological sightings is 1:30 a.m. So I'm suggesting that 1:30 a.m., so you have 12 o'clock midnight Wednesday, 1:30 a.m. Thursday morning is a new moon which is black and dark. Okay? That moon, that hilal or the crescent of that new moon won't be seen for another 5 or 6 hours. So that simply means once it's seen, the following day is Eid. Remember that. That's the whole secret to everything. It's not about the new moon. It's about sighting the crescent of the new moon. Okay, so what I've done in the past is that because my cousin lives in Saudi Arabia, he's 7 hours ahead of me. The skies in Saudi Arabia, when I looked up into them, I saw a million stars in the sky. There was no pollution. I saw everything I could possibly see. So I'm almost sure they can see it live, a new moon, and they can see that crescent because the skies are so clear. Here, you can't hardly see it. So as the prophet said, once someone sights it, you can start your fast. So we don't want to blame anybody who don't start when we start. That's not the issue. But the sunnah is whoever sights it, that's when we start our fast, and that's when we break it, inshallah. So inshallah, let us be mindful, and of course I'll give you that information, hopefully, within that night. But now we're in the 18th, and don't remember now, you can't fast no more than 30 days. So if you fast in 30 days, automatically you know that the next day is Ramadan. I mean Eid. It's the 5th. Yeah, it's the 1st of Shaban. So inshallah, we'll let everybody know. Right now, let me remind everybody that everyone has an obligation to make sure that they pay in their annual zakat before the Eid day, inshallah. And also you have zakat fitr. Zakat fitr is due on you also. That is $20 per person in your family. That's the fitr charity. Then you have the annual zakat that you should pay. And I suggest to all of you that when you want to do this, don't forget you have all year to save your annual zakat. You have all year. The annual zakat is just like fasting, which is an obligation on us. The annual zakat is just like salat 5 times a day. You have an obligation on that. It's a pillar. So a reminder, make sure you carry out your pillar. If you don't carry out that pillar and you have, inshallah, then you have negated your Islam. So let's not negate our Islam, especially after fasting all month long, inshallah. We don't want to do that. We want to take the blessings from Ramadan. Your monies are blessed. The money that you give in are multiplied thousands and thousands of times in terms of blessings. So you want to make sure you do that, especially during this month, inshallah. And if you don't have, and you become poor, or you are poor, you become a recipient of some of the zakat. So let us be mindful of that, inshallah. So with that being said, those of you who wish to give, you can go to FirstClevelandMosque.org. That's our PayPal. You can go to FirstClevelandMosque.com with my number in. That's our Zelle. You can go to $FirstCleveland. That's our Cash App. If you go online, you'll see all the payment spots online for us. And then, of course, I'll give you your zakat calculation sheets on next week. Inshallah, I don't want to give them to you now because I get upset when I give people zakat calculation sheets, and then when everybody get up and leave, I got to pick up about 10 of them on the tables. So I say to people, if you don't want a zakat calculation sheet, don't take one. But if you do want one, take it and use it, inshallah. If you don't think you're going to use it, don't take it, inshallah. So with that being said, those of you online, we appreciate you online. Again, make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed online, subscribe. We got about 150 to 200 people who are watching on a daily basis. The Quran being read. And of course, people have come into the masjid just through this reading and have accepted Islam. So, continue to do the job. Bring people with you online. Bring people to your reading with you and let them read along with us. This is an opportunity and time to say, I never read the Quran. This is an opportunity and time to say, I read the whole Quran during the month of Ramadan. The entire Quran. If you're here every single day, you have read the entire Quran within the month of Ramadan. This is a time where you need to take notes. This is a time where you have any questions and you read across certain things in the Quran, take a note, jot a note down, jot the page down, jot the information down, go back to it. Our commentary down at the bottom is excellent commentary, and you can do some investigation on things that you don't understand, inshallah. And I have read this Quran for 38 years in a row, 38. And every time I read it, it's something that I didn't get the next year. That simply means that there's always something you find out, oh my God, I didn't think about this. 38 years, Allah is constantly giving you things, over and over again. So, you can do that and then investigate and then study. Take what you study and make it practical and make it applicable to your private as well as your public life. Outside of that, inshallah, we're going to break our fast at about 6:24 right now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Assalamu alaikum brothers here and sisters here, and assalamu alaikum those of you online.